Let's talk about how to lower cortisol naturally. If you've been struggling with feeling wired but tired, stubborn weight gain, poor sleep, or racing thoughts, it might not just be stress. It could be your cortisol. I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. I'm a functional medicine physician, family physician, nutritionist, and midlife women's health expert. And in this video, I am sharing with you how you can naturally and effectively lower your cortisol levels, especially during perimenopause and menopause. These are strategies I use with my patients, I've used with myself, tested and true, and they're backed by science, not simply trends. So let's talk about what is cortisol and why is it often too high in today's world. Cortisol is your main stress hormone. It follows a daily rhythm, higher in the morning, then it starts to edge off in the afternoon a little bit, and then gets really low in the evening. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's a bit flipped in today's world. It's essential to life when it stays too high for too long, it can cause problems. So you don't want it high all the time. Think fatigue, burnout, belly fat, weight gain, anxiety, and poor recovery. Many things spike cortisol: poor sleep, blood sugar crashes, overtraining, undereating, overuse of alcohol, chronic stress, and even chronic illness. And for women in midlife, lower estrogen and progesterone actually make us more susceptible and more sensitive to cortisol's effects. So how do we reset and how do we rebalance our cortisol? Let's start with food. Let's talk about my 5 favorite cortisol balancing foods. First, wild salmon or sardines, or flax, chia seeds, or walnuts. They're rich in omega-3s that can lower inflammation, and that can help us regulate our cortisol. Second, leafy greens. Think spinach, Swiss chard, kale. They're all loaded with magnesium, which helps calm our nervous system. You can also find magnesium in some other foods that I'm going to talk about some more later, but nuts and seeds and dark chocolate, which are both high in fiber, and that leads us to our next food, nuts and seeds. So chia seeds and flax seeds, as I mentioned above, have the omegas, but then you also have pumpkin seeds and sesame seeds, and they're all great for fiber and healthy fats. They help us stabilize our blood sugar, support our estrogen detoxification. That helps cortisol stay in check also, getting that unhealthy estrogen out. And in walnuts, as noted above, they're rich in omega-3s and they're anti-inflammatory. We also have Brazil nuts, which are great for our thyroid, and that helps our cortisol balance. And almonds, which are rich in healthy fats, antioxidants, fiber, and protein. So fourth, berries, blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. They're all high in antioxidants, as well as pomegranate seeds too. They can help reduce oxidative stress, which lowers the body's need to spike cortisol. So less oxidative stress is better. So fifth, green tea. It has L-theanine, which calms the brain and supports a smooth, steady energy without a big cortisol hit like coffee would. I often get asked about matcha tea. That's really green and it's rich in L-theanine, but it's also higher in caffeine. So maybe not as great of a choice as a green tea would be when it comes to cortisol-friendly drinks. So let's talk about 5 habits that lower our cortisol. Number 1, better sleep hygiene. Get to bed at a consistent time. Make your room cool and dark. Avoid screens for 1 hour before bed. You could even try wearing amber glasses after dark. They help to get your mind and hormones in a better state for sleep. So all of these steps will help you boost melatonin, which I am going to talk about a little bit later too, because it does go down in our 40s, and having good amounts of it really helps our cortisol balance. Trying to get to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time, usually between going to bed around 10, waking up at 6 is good, but it might vary for you. Number 2, morning sunlight. That natural light that floods in the morning helps our circadian rhythm. That helps our cortisol curve follow that healthier pattern I talked about before. Number 3, breath work or meditation. Even just 5 minutes a day can activate the vagus nerve and calm your stress response. You could try box breathing, guided meditation. There's lots of great apps out there. All those things can really help. Doing them 5 minutes when you wake up and 5 minutes before bed is even better. But even just 5 minutes a day is good. Number 4, gentle movement. Walking, yoga, and gentle strength training followed by stretching can lower your cortisol. Especially in perimenopause, this works better than punishing cardio. Now, I'm not saying all cardio is bad, because we do need some cardio, but we want to get our heart rates into the zone 2 with cardio. It's best to stay in zone 2 with your heart rate being steady and not doing like the heavy, intense, high intensity workouts or long duration cardio that we may have done when we were a bit younger. Number 5, cut back on caffeine and alcohol. Too much caffeine raises our cortisol. Alcohol interferes with our sleep and our cortisol regulation. It may feel like a glass of wine actually helps you sleep, but it really doesn't. It puts us into a chaotic type of sleep and doesn't allow us to get good quality sleep, and it can cause insomnia. I hear that from a lot of women. So want to go deeper? Here are a few natural supplements that you may want to consider, but you always have to talk to your provider before you start any supplements. One that I use a lot is ashwagandha. It's a powerful adaptogenic herb that helps regulate the stress response. I also use magnesium, especially glycinate. It's calmer on the GI system, but it's great for calming the brain and supporting restful sleep. You could use rhodiola rosea that can help ease anxiety and improve mood without any extra sedation. L-theanine, that's the same ingredient I talked about before in green tea. The green tea is rich in it, but you can find it in a supplement form too that can help lower your cortisol. Phosphatidylserine, that's a phospholipid in a supplement form. It's a powerful tool in helping to lower the cortisol, particularly at night, and help you get that restful sleep. Holy basil, this herb is really good and rich in antioxidants to help support emotional well-being and a balanced stress response. So let's talk about 5 things that raise cortisol and to avoid doing. 1, ultra-processed sugar. That causes a blood sugar spike and crash, which forces our cortisol to try to stabilize our system. So stay away from ultra-processed foods and sugar. Number 2, late night screen time. Like I said before, the blue light suppresses our melatonin, keeps our cortisol high. Poor sleep makes our cortisol worse. Number 3, overtraining. Yeah, exercise is healthy, but like I said, too much, especially without recovery, that raises our cortisol, really puts stress on our adrenal glands. Number 4, inconsistent sleep. When you don't get enough rest or sleep and you keep changing up that schedule, cortisol curve becomes chaotic just like the schedule. Number 5, too much alcohol. Like I said, emphasizing it again, disrupts REM sleep and blocks proper cortisol clearance in the liver, and therefore we have high cortisol. Let's talk a little bit about what we talked about. 5 healthy foods, 5 habits you can try, and 5 things to avoid if you want more balanced cortisol. You don't need to do all this at once. Pick one habit, pick one food, pick one thing to start with 1 week, and then build on it the next week and the next week. You just want to give your body more balance, not more stress. Give it the right signals. You want to feel better, more energy, better sleep, less anxiety. So all these things you can build on an habit stack. So thanks so much for spending time with me and Welltech today. Check out your personalized programs they have. They have a lot of resources that can help support your cortisol, your hormones, and your health. Some of the fitness apps, super helpful. Definitely check those out. You can also find me on YouTube at Dr. Shelley Meyer and on my blog at perimenopause.help if you're looking for more hormone-friendly tips and videos and blogs. So I'll see you in the next video, and thanks so much for joining me today.